Episode 94. It's all in the tires. Sit down, shut up, relax, grab a snack. The 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast is about to begin. You know there's a way to tell boy ants from girl ants? You just drop them in a glass of water. If they sink, it's a girl. If it floats, it's buoyant. Buoyant, get it? Yeah, I know that's horrible. Hello and welcome to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Nicky G. I'm here to inform, entertain, and delight your ear holes with all things off-road for the next 10 minutes or so. Whew, almost did it one breath. Why 10 minutes? I'm running out of shtick. Let's see. I used the Hot Pocket one over and over again. I used the first responder one quite a bit. I'm going to say that's about how long until a dog has to go out to pee. Yeah, I'm blaming it on the dog. I'd like to remind everybody you can listen to the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on whatever the hell you're listening to it on now. Which might include Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Overcast, Breaker, CastBox, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Stitcher. But never iHeartRadio or Pandora. Because they're just, I don't know. They don't like to play with the little people. If you got something to say, I really don't want to hear it. But you can attempt to contact the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast at 10minute at 10minuteoffroad at gmail.com. That's 10minute at gmail.com. Where the best way to get us is just leave a comment on one of our many YouTube videos. I post this on Anchor, which hosts this fine podcast, which I think is now Spotify. And also I put it on YouTube. I put it on my YouTube channel, Nick G, and I put it on its own 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast YouTube channel. Coincidentally, I tried Rumble. I think I do have a Rumble thing for it, but I haven't posted a Rumble in a long time. I think Rumble kind of came and went. You can follow the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast and be ignored promptly by the 10-Minute Off-Road Podcast on all the popular social media platforms, such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, but never TikTok, because, TikTok is run by the Chinese government. Alright, so now that all that legal mumbo-jumbo boilerplate is out of the way, and we have no time left to talk about anything else. Alright, so the other day I was listening to a podcast called the Off-Road Insiders, put on by my good friends Nate. What is his YouTube channel? Oh, SWB Crawler. And Tammy, Jeep Mama. They got together. They put on a podcast. They're very good people. Good podcast. I suggest you listen to it. They talk about all kinds of weird stuff. Off-road related, mostly. They record live and post it on YouTube, and you could interact with them. And I like to make comments and try to get them to laugh while they're doing their podcast, and it works. And like I said, they're good people. I enjoy them. I've known them for a while. But on their podcast, they were talking about tires, and I found a lot of stuff they said interesting. But then the very next day on Facebook, one of the local Facebook groups here asked people to post their vehicle they have, how equipped it is, and what size tires they have. They're trying to organize run. And I've always said tires are the last piece of the puzzle. I've got some nice 33-inch mud terrains, Nexen Rhodians. I love them. They're a good tire. But in my infancy of off-roading, I had 31 Falcon Wild Peaks, I believe they were. All-terrains. They looked more like a street tire than anything. They were 31-inch. I wasn't locked in the front or back. It's just my vehicle just had about like 4-inch lift and some 31s on it. And I went just about every trail in Euphoria. I did not go up the front side of Daniel. The people I was with tried to talk me into doing it, but I chickened out. The V-notch kind of scared me on it. But I went up Dickey Bell, which is one of the most difficult trails they have in Uwharrie. And I know a lot of you tough wheelers are going to say, "Yeah, there's nothing tough in Uwharrie." But I made it up Dickie Bell. I had some excellent spotters with me, and a lot of encouragement from friends, and up it I went on a open differential stock 31s. Didn't get stuck. Had a few trouble spots, but managed to get through it. And now my Jeep is more equipped than it was back then, and I don't do the wild, crazy stuff that I used to do. But it got me thinking. I'm standing by my original belief that, yeah, I can put 40-inch tires on my Jeep, and I can go over that stuff a lot easier. But I believe it's more or less the driver and spotter, because let's face it, I drive like crap. I'm more of a just point and shoot kind of person. If I'm in a bad situation, I rely heavily on spotters, mostly because I can't see what's going on underneath the Jeep. I don't pay that much attention when I'm going up or picking lines. I just, like I said, just point and shoot. But anyhow, Nate and Tammy had a lot of very interesting things to say about tires. So back to the Facebook posting. I know they mean well. They're trying to match up rigs and stuff so they can organize trails that everybody can enjoy. But if you have a less equipped vehicle, I think you should be allowed to go on runs with the bigger equipped vehicles. You never know. I seen a stock, I want to say CJ5, CJ7. I had no idea what the heck truck was driving. I should have paid more attention, but I'm oblivious to stuff like that. I seen a stock CJ, we'll say 7, on 30-inch tires, the stock tires that came on it, their stock size. I'm pretty sure they weren't original tires. Not sure if he was locked or not, but some of the stuff he went over was incredible. I thought, oh, surely he's going to get hung up on this. Nope, I think this guy can go up the side of a wall. But he's been wheeling since he was born, and it just comes natural to him. So I really believe it's mostly driver, partly machine. And I'm sure there's going to be limitations on machine that'll hold him back a little bit, or it might be easier for somebody who's got some 40-inch tires and locked and everything. So I don't hold it against the Facebook group for trying to try to make a ride that's enjoyable for everybody, but I don't agree with it. So listening to Nate and Tammy, they said a lot of interesting things about tires. Some of it I didn't know. Of course, when you're looking at tires, they have numbers and letters on it. MT stands for mud terrain. AT stands for all terrain. All terrain and mud terrains get about a 3% less fuel efficiency than regular tires. They're made out of a softer rubber, so they wear out slightly faster. The rubber lugs in the mud terrains help eject the mud. That's spaced out enough that when the tire spins, anything caked in the tire will fly out instead of remaining in it. All terrains, no, they just stick in the tire. They last a little bit longer than mud terrains, but you still get the 3% less fuel efficiency, which when you're getting 14 miles to the gallon, 3%, not really all that much. All right, the numbers in tires, like the 235, 75, 15, that's the 235, the big number, is the section width or the section height in millimeters. That's the overall length of the tire from ground to the top of the tire. The 75 is the aspect ratio of the sidewall. The sidewall profile is a percentage of the tire width. So that 75% aspect ratio means that the sidewall is 75% of the total tire height. I guess, I don't know. It has something to do with width. I have no idea. I should have been paying attention more. And of course, the last number, 15, is the rim diameter. R, if you're looking at tires, they'll say like 235, 75, 15R. The R stands for radial. Have no idea what the abbreviation for bias ply is, but I haven't seen bias ply tires in a long time. You can convert this metric number into inches at tiresize.com. They have a converter there, so if you're find some like 235 all-terrains and want to equate how tall that is, you just go to tire.com, punch in the numbers, it'll spit it out for you. I talked a little bit about sticky tires, which I've heard of sticky tires. I knew they use them in like King of the Hammers and the Ultra 4 racing. Didn't know they were using drag racing too, which kind of makes sense. Sticky tires are performance composition. They're soft, so they kind of stick to the pavement or whatever. They wear out quickly on pavement. So if you have a trail-only rig, stickies might be for you. If you're going to drive it on pavement, I'd stay away from stickies. And then I have something written down here that's totally illegible. It says, not really legal. Oh, road legal. Most stickies are not road legal in some states. All right, that's about all the time I've got. I'm just about at the 10-minute mark. I want to thank all of you for listening, both of you. Actually, my downloads are up in the triple digits now, so either there's 100 of you listening to this podcast or just one very dumb person downloading it about 100 times. Thanks for that, and until next time, this is Nikki G saying, wheel what you got and be happy.